Hey, this is Ryan, and today we're going to finish up the tutorial where we will break up our monolith, and we're going to redirect traffic to each of these different microservices. Scroll down to part 1. We will create a new task definition for each of our images. Go to Elastic Container Service, Task Definitions. So we have one task definition, and we want to create a new one for each of our 3 new images. So create new task definition, EC2. But this time we will use JSON to configure our tasks. So if I type in Control F and JSON, that is at the bottom. So click this. Down here we have a pre-configured template. We just have to fill in a couple of our details. So let's copy this. We will replace a service name. Where are we at? Okay, account ID, region, tag. So service name. Let me duplicate this, and I'm going to go to ECR first. Okay, so here's our repos. Let's start with posts. I'm going to swap out this one with posts. And for image, you could probably select a repo and select view push commands. And I believe I think you can copy this last line. Let's see what this looks like. Account ID. Yeah, it starts with account ID. But we're just going to switch out latest here. So if we copy this and paste, we want to tag v1 for latest. And going back to family name, it's going to be post. I think that's everything there. So let's try save and create. Okay, so let's go back to task definitions. And here's our task. So we're going to do 2 more. It's going to be the same thing, but one for users. And what else we got? Threads. So let's just do threads next. Create new task. EC2. Configure. Save, create, make sure that works. Okay, we got threads. Last one is users. Okay, we have all 3 of those. That's it for step 1. Step 2, configure our application load balancer. We want to create a target group for each service. In addition, we'll create a target group to keep traffic from reaching the monolith after your microservices are fully running. Okay, we'll do this from the command line. So I think I'll just try loading up Cloud Shell within AWS. That'll take probably like 30 seconds to load up. Okay, let's give this a shot. So we're going to run this command for each service. maybe a fourth one as well. Service name, post, thread, users, and drop traffic. Okay, let's copy this. All right, so first, select a region. Service name, first one we'll do is post. VPC ID. Okay, we do need to find our VPC ID, so let's search VPC. Your VPCs, and this is the one that we originally created. So scroll down to details, and here's your VPC ID. So we'll copy that. Healthy threshold, count 2. Okay, these are all the health checks, so leave that as is. And let's see if this works. All right, I think that's a good sign. And let's see if we can search our target groups to see if that worked correctly. So we'll go back to EC2. Target group. Okay, we have posts. That's one we just created. Load balancer. Is this one supposed to have the load balancer? Okay, I thought something looked wrong for a second, but I think it's okay. So here's our VPC ID. I think that's fine. Okay, so that's our post target group. Let's do the next 3. So we'll leave VPC ID in there. We'll change our name. We want threads. US East 1. I think that's it. Refresh. Here's threads. Users. And we got one more. We're going to use the service name drop traffic. Drop traffic. Step 3, configure listener rules. So all of our 4 services are running behind the same load balancer. To make the transition from monolith to microservice, you will start routing traffic to microservices and then stop routing traffic to your monolith. So access the listener rules. Let's go to load balancers and then listeners. Select view or edit rules. Okay, let's add a new rule. Insert. Okay, so if, add condition, we want path. Paste if API asterisk, then forward to API. So I think we save that and that. And to double check yourself, if you select open image new tab, you can try and match what they have. So if path is API, forward to API. So second one, think we press save first. Okay, then we add a new one. Insert rule. Path. API / users star. For some reason it works now. Whatever. So then forward to users. Save. Now threads. Save. Post. Save. We'll go back. Okay, step 4, deploy your microservices. Let's go to ECS. Clusters. Select our cluster. Okay, we're in the services. We're in the services tab, so create. I think we need a task definition for each of our services. Okay, so EC2. Okay, so we need one for each of these, so let's start with post. Select, enter a value. I think that should be correct, like this. Cluster, service name. It's probably just post. Number of tasks, 1. Okay, next step. Configure our load balancer, so we want the application load balancer. Okay, IAM role, load balancer name. In the container to load balance section, select add to load balancer button. Okay. So for production listener port, select port 80. Target group, we're going to route this to post. And next step. And skip this, next step. Create service. I was wondering why API didn't show up for a second, but now it is, for whatever reason. So, okay, so we want a new service. So we'll do the same thing. This time we will select threads. We did post, threads, now we need users. All right, we have all 4. Step 5, switch our traffic over to our microservices. Going back up top, you can kind of see where we're at here. We updated our target groups. So all the traffic was going here. Now we want to reroute the traffic to these microservices, and then we'll shut down our original monolith. All right, go to EC2, load balancer, and then select the listeners tab. There should only be 1 listener listed. So let's edit this. Okay, on the rules page, select the minus button. So select edit. Whoops, hang on a second. Okay, delete the first rule. Okay, that makes sense. Delete. And I think we need to update our default route. Update the default route forward to drop traffic. So edit, select this. Okay, and the then column. Edit that. Switch that to drop traffic. Update. Should look like this. Set 1, 2, 3, and then if request otherwise not routed, then forward to drop traffic. Okay, with traffic now flowing to your microservices, you can disable the monolith service. So go to ECS. In the services tab, select the checkbox next to API and select update. On the configure service page, locate number of tasks. It's down here, and we want that to be 0 tasks. Select skip review. Update service. So ECS will empty connections from containers from our monolith. If you refresh this after 30 seconds, you'll see the task will drop to 0. And if you want to delete your API service, you go to the services tab, and I guess we're already in it, so you would select delete. I'll just wait a minute and see what happens. Okay, desired task is 0, so that worked. All right, so if we wanted to validate our deployment, we'll just do what we did in module 2, this tutorial. Let's go to target groups. Select the checkbox next to API. Yeah, I think that was outdated. You just have to select API. So we got our details now. Okay, let's go to load balancers actually. So in the description tab, locate the DNS name. Should be that. Then you would paste in your DNS and add -API-users. Let's try one of these. Okay, this is the one for users. Seems to be working fine. We tried threads. That's working. And posts. All 3 are working. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. We successfully transitioned from the monolith to route traffic to each microservice. Lastly, go to step 5, and this will show you how to delete all your services in proper order. So I'll get back to this later, and tomorrow I think we might dive into Kubernetes.